Hello and welcome to a new video series we've decided to do for 2023. We're going to be doing a monthly extra video outside of our Saturday vlogs about the garden and what we're growing. We've been here for 2 years now, so though I wouldn't say I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm planning on doing, what I'm planning on planting, and just thought I would create something around the garden for each month as kind of like a guide and just to let you know what's going on in the garden. So yeah, I'm just sat by the greenhouse now. I'll share with you what I'm planning to sow, what we've currently got growing, and also in today's video we have been sent some raised beds that we're going to put together and make a plan for them, and we're going to fill them hugelkultur style, so we'll see how that goes throughout the year. Hope you enjoy seeing what we get up to in the garden. It's something that I'm really passionate about. It's the reason we moved here and bought a piece of land in central Portugal, because I just love growing my own food, growing flowers and just experimenting. I think gardening is just a joyful thing in life, so yeah. So left over from last month's sowing, I still have these cabbages that need to go in the ground, and then I've also got some blue cornflowers and PHACELIA. This is a green manure, but it's also a really beautiful flower that the bees love. And then here just at the back we have coriander. I sowed too much broccoli, most of it's in the ground, but I've got a few spares here. And then some chickpeas that I sowed way too early. There's some in the ground that's still hanging on, and I've kept a few in here, but yeah, they are not liking this cold. In this bed by the house I planted last month a row of sweet peas. They're not for eating, just for their beautiful smell. Some leeks, a lot of parsley, and then we have some cauliflower and rainbow chard in here. I planted peas in November. You can still plant peas up till April, I think. Some more kohlrabi, and it's all going to flower. Apparently oak leaves are not very good mulch at all. They can inhibit growth. We have a big oak tree here, so that's dropping all its leaves, so I'm going to come and clear out all these oak leaves from here. This is an amazing kale plant, Taunton kale it's called, absolutely beautiful. All of our onions that we've planted growing really well. I have a small garlic bed here. I've got notes everywhere, so I'm going to consolidate them, and on our Patreon page there'll be an Excel spreadsheet that I can keep updating, so you can join us on there for £1 a month if you want to kind of get more access to my more detailed garden notes. And the system I have with my seeds is I have each month in a piece of paper, and then I each month move the seeds to the next month that they're available to plant. So I've got a few in December that I need to move, and then I've got everything to sow for January in this little January pouch. These are all the seeds that I can sow in January. I've got potato, onions, Chinese radish, some onion seeds, lettuces, leeks. Oh, I can start melons now, apparently. Guess in the greenhouse, and cucumbers. What's the English word for this? Catnip? I think catnip, catgrass, whatever. Lavender. I start planting beans, basil, chickpeas, beetroot, and tatsoi. This is an Asian green. Again, I'll add this onto the Patreon spreadsheet so it's just a bit more accessible, and if you join us on Patreon, you're helping us buy compost and feeding my seed addiction, so thank you. This is some onion seed that I saved last year, so it's still got a lot of the chaff with it. And I'm going to plant them, quite a few in each little segment, so that they can be more like a spring onion. So plant them close together. I've also got some pak choi that I'll sow. I've not been able to find pak choi seeds here anywhere, so I saw it for sale in Lidl, and I managed to grow it from the plant that it still had the roots, and then I've saved some seeds from that, so I'm really hoping these will grow. So here we go, this is what I've sown. I've got much better at labelling what I've sown because I always think I'll remember and I won't. So lavender, and one of the tips I got from one of you guys was to not cover the seeds with soil. It needs sunlight to germinate. So yeah, tip with lavender, don't cover it. I find it a really hard herb to get growing, and I would love lavender everywhere, so I will keep trying. The potato onions, some tatsoi and the pak choi. Down here we have leeks, the chanterelle melon and some cucumbers, and then I've done a little pot of the erva de gato. And then I've got basil, onion that I'm growing as spring onions, and then some Chinese radish. These were seeds my friend Alicia sent me from Thailand, so thank you Alicia, she sent me some really cool different veggies. Beetroot, Iwan has requested that I grow a lot of beetroot this year, and then this basil ararat is a giant basil that Nearby Veggies sent me some seeds for. I'll link her channel in the description. Apparently it grows really big and looks a bit like marijuana, so that's going to be fun. Hopefully the neighbours don't think I'm growing cannabis. And so yeah, on top of that you can also be sowing potatoes, peas, lettuce, but we've got lots of greens in the garden already, so I'm not going to sow any more of that. Chard, again, we've got lots of that in the garden, and rocket, and then beans too, but I'm going to start direct sowing a few of those this month and probably more as it gets closer to spring. Our last frost is normally in February, and then if I had them I could sow hibiscus seeds and chives, but I don't have any of those either, so I'll add them to my shopping list to add to my very big seed collection. So these are the veggigar beds. We put up one yesterday, but it was very wet and drizzly and cold and windy, so it wasn't very nice for filming, but we thought we'd see what it was like so we could plan better how we're going to put it together. This shadow. This is the company for the raised beds. We'll leave a link in our description for them. They're really easy to put together, so you have 4 of these curved pieces, and in this set that we've got is 8 straight pieces, and then there's a variety of different ways that you can set them up. So I think we're going to go 2 this shape and then 1 this. They have this like rubber seal you push in around the top, makes it feel a lot more sturdy. The quality is really good, feels like it's going to be very durable, so I'm really excited to get these set up and growing stuff in them. So we've got one more to do, but Iwan is currently doing the very important job of making coffee. You need coffee for the 3rd one. So on to bed number 3. First thing is take off the protective plastic, which was quite satisfying.
It is, it's very loud though, isn't it? There are gloves in the box for handling it because the edges on the side are quite sharp.
Each piece has 4 holes down the side, so then you just line them up and then take a screw, a bolt and a washer, put the screw through, oops, try not to drop them, then the washer, try also not to drop that, and the bolt on this side, and then repeat all the way down. We just do these by hand, and then once they're all on, tighten them all with the wrench.
These are the bracing rods. And what the bracing rods do is we weren't sure about this, but I think they go at the top to stop it from over time sort of stretching,
Bending,
expanding. Yeah.
Collapse.
So it's quite a nice design, I thought. There you go.
Do you want the screwy? I said we were going to fill the raised beds hugelkultur style, and for those that don't know what hugelkultur is, I've googled it. It literally means mound bed, and it's a technique where you construct a mound from decaying wood and debris and other compostable biomass plant materials, and then you plant that as a raised bed. Normally it's not in like a container like this, they're mounds, and then you plant it up, and then as the wood and stuff is decaying, that then feeds the plants. And it's a really good technique for raised beds like this because they are so big. Filling that with soil and compost would be super expensive. By doing it this way, it fills up the bed really quickly, and then the hugelkultur system feeds the plants that you add to it. So quite excited to try this and see how it works. A few weeks ago our big mimosa tree fell down, so we've got lots of debris from that to use. We've got some olive prunings and lots of brambles and stuff, so we're going to put them in, and then what you do is add the soil after that's full, and that fills in all the gaps, and then compost on top and plant into that. We've been moving them around a bit, and we're thinking here would be a nice place, and then with the olive tree, and then we've also planted a pomegranate and a linden blossom tree here. This will create a really nice seated area. These two beds are nearly filled, and we just need some more cardboard for this one. This is a old sort of greenhouse structure we had, the plastic all ripped, so I thought maybe we could put it in here somehow to grow stuff up, because what we're thinking is this is going to be a seating area and we want to create as much shade as possible for the summer. And so now we're going to leave these to sort of rot down a little bit over the next couple of months. Add some soil, add some compost. I've got 2 buckets of chicken manure that's sort of 6 months rotted as well, so that can go in here. Chicken manure normally needs about 9 months before you use it in the garden, so I feel like in the bottom here that could work pretty well.